our final trend, and it is my favorite trend to talk about. SMarketing is what happens when sales and marketing are working together efficiently and they're holding each other accountable. It's really about getting all of your ducks in a row, and we have a closed loop process in place. 87% of the terms sales and marketing use to describe each other are negative, and yet they're sharing the same funnel. The sales process starts long before a lead is talking to sales, and the marketing process does not end once a sales rep picks up the phone. Companies with strong sales and marketing alignment are achieving a 20% annual growth rate, whereas companies with poor sales and marketing alignment have a 4% revenue decline. So you have to get your sales and marketing team aligned on personas, on goals, operations, and strategy to get SMarketing.
I love how even Anna Kendrick thinks that that's a huge deal.
I love that slide. SMarketing is sales and marketing alignment on personas, goals, and operations. Now, the stepping stones to get to SMarketing: we have to agree on a target persona or target personas and the goals associated with that. We need to implement a service level agreement, or an SLA, which is a agreement between sales and marketing. Marketing will say how many leads they're going to generate in any given month for sales, and sales will work to close those and has an agreement with marketing about how many they will close. We're going to touch on that in a few minutes. Third, we need to set up closed loop reporting. And then finally, a little pizza and beer. It's a good combination to have when you're creating your SLA and you're getting to SMarketing.
Yeah.
So when we get on the same page, it starts with understanding the core of why we're marketing. We're trying to help educate a certain type of buyer. We have to address what their needs, their problems, where their common objections lie. This keeps sales from arguing that marketing doesn't send quality leads. So here is an example for a home builder company. We are looking at a Mike and Melissa Gen Y buyer persona. So a little bit of background about the Mike and Melissa. They're between 32 and 37. They're married with kids. They both have college degrees, have a yearly salary of $125,000 plus. They are entrepreneurs or maybe managers, a C-suite position. Growth, wealth, and happiness is what success means to them. They are trying to balance work and life, and their biggest objection that this home builder company will need to overcome is that they want to find an honest, open-ended contractor to help them build their dream home. They're also looking for ways to make this process less time-consuming. Now, the Mike and Melissa, this is going to be very different than a persona, let's say Bob and Sue, the retirees. Bob and Sue are trying to find a contractor that's going to accommodate their plans for a very personalized home. They need a low maintenance home. So we're going to market to those two people very differently. We know the Mike and Melissas are using social media. They're on Snapchat, Pinterest, Twitter. They use the internet for the entire process of trying to find that contractor.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I really like to point out here is that we're not saying that all people who fall within the age group of 32 to 37 are married and have kids and have college degrees fall into this buyer persona. What we're saying is this buyer persona describes our ideal customer. So you're looking for somebody that matches all of these things. And then on the right-hand side where it has the goals and challenges and then the shopping and industry news preference, that's actually guiding our content that we're creating for them so that we can reach them even better. So that guides the whole strategy.
Great point. And buyer personas in general, when we create these, now sales and marketing both have a very clear picture of who we're marketing to, the pushbacks that they're receiving. So sales is saying, they need something that's less time consuming. They need a contractor that's going to help save them time. Now marketing knows how they need to interact with Mike and Melissa's, right? So that's how we're using buyer personas to get everyone on the same page.
Definitely. So we do have another question here that came in, and Clement is asking, how does this relate to attraction recruiting? And attraction recruiting is something that we do specifically with trending up, but it's taking these same principles and applying them to recruitment. So we're really looking at, instead of a buyer persona there, you'd actually have a candidate persona. So what are all of the persona backgrounds, the positions that they're currently in, their information, their goals and challenges, and we lay that all out in a candidate persona so that we can also target them. And then your recruitment team gets together and also has an SLA. So how your recruitment marketers meet and work with your recruiting, and make sure that that SLA for them is in place. So it's very similar, but it's just a little bit different when being applied for recruitment. And it looks like there's a follow-up question. How do you know if the potential lead fits the buyer persona? That is a great question. And it's one that takes a little bit of time to get into, but very, very clearly, what we can do on a website with the technology is actually ask people those questions when they fill out a form. So when a visitor comes onto the website and they're seeing relevant content to the buyer persona, and they fit the buyer persona, they're seeing that relevant content, then they're much more likely to convert into a lead. When they convert, we ask them questions on the form fields that help us to qualify them and make sure that a potential lead actually fits into our buyer persona. So hopefully that answers your question.
Alicia, for the ebook that you recently wrote about attraction recruiting, wasn't it 90% of people that are looking for a job start with a Google search?
That is very true. That is exactly what that is.
That is pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right, so moving on from buyer personas, let's discuss a little bit more about SLAs. Once we get on the same page around those personas, we need to sit down and create the service level agreement. The SLA is an agreement between sales and marketing and how many leads marketing will generate in any given month and how many of those leads sales will work to close. So here's an example of how to build a basic one. You need to take the sales goal and do some simple math to back into what the lead goals need to be using the conversion rates you've seen in the past. So let's say your revenue goal is $500,000 and the average customer pays $10,000. That means you need 50 new customers. If your historical lead to customer conversion rate is 2%, that means you need 2,500 new leads to be able to reach that 50 new customers.
It sounds daunting, doesn't it?
It's really not that bad.
It's not, because first of all, you look at it annually, and then you look at it like, what you can do is you can actually change some of those other levers. Like if your lead to customer ratio is at 2%, maybe you can up that. And then it doesn't seem as daunting because then you need fewer new leads.
Okay, yeah, yep. So if you take this same principle and go further up the funnel, so if you know your visitor to lead conversion is 3%, then you need over 80,000 visitors to your website annually, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
You can drill down even further to see which channels are converting the best and then double down on those marketing channels. So, if email marketing proves to be very successful, you drive, let's say, 5,000 leads through your email marketing, but your, let's say, paid search, you drive a high amount of visitors, but the conversion rate into customers is extremely low, versus the email where you get 5,000 visitors and you have a 30% conversion. We know how to guide our marketing investment better now towards the channels that are successful.
Definitely.
We believe in the importance of closed loop marketing. Here is a glimpse at a CRM type we use. It's very easy to work with. A CRM is a customer relationship management tool. And basically it's technology to manage and analyze customer interactions and data through customer lifecycle, and it keeps you organized. On the next slide, we see an example of a CRM, an individual contact card, and the history of this prospect with us. So they have downloaded ebooks. They went on certain landing pages. As we're scrolling down, we can see what they've done, the information that they've given us. They came in organically, Jon Snow. Okay, so why specialized construction companies need specialized marketing? That's what they viewed. So now we know where their interest lies and what their triggers are. We're looking at, they're from Kingdom of the North. Winter is coming. You had fun building this contact card, didn't you, Alicia?
I did. I very much did.
That's awesome. We can see they went on a blueprint page. This is a landing page. So this is just an example of what we're looking at behind the scenes when we're looking at a CRM contact card.
Right. And for you, Jenna, as a salesperson, this is super useful information, right? Like not only did they fill out all those form fields that you can use, so you can research winteriscoming.com and see what kind of thing that they're interested in. And then you can also see what they were researching, and then whether or not they opened your emails, what things they downloaded. That's super useful from a sales perspective too.
Oh, absolutely. I always look at this contact card and this information before I get on the phone with a customer or a lead of mine. I want to make sure I know what their pain point is and make sure our conversations are very targeted. And this allows you to do that.